So I feel like I say the exact same thing every time I start a video, but I also don't know what else to say. So hi, welcome back to my kitchen. Here we are. We are making a delicious melt in your mouth butter cookie today. It is perfect for cookie week and Christmas season, but it's also a great cookie all year round. It doesn't have to be during the holidays, but we're dressing it up a little bit and making it extra Christmassy, and I'm gonna walk you through it step by step. So let's go ahead and get started. First things first, for these butter cookies, you're gonna add 2 sticks of butter and 1 cup of white sugar into a mixer, and you're gonna mix this until light and fluffy, so for about 3 or 4 minutes. After that, we're gonna add in 2 eggs and mix for just about 30 seconds. You don't wanna overmix the eggs, and they're not gonna fully incorporate, so if it's a little bit lumpy, don't worry about it. It's no big deal. It's gonna come together and we'll be totally fine. Next, you're gonna add 3 cups of flour, a teaspoon of vanilla, or my favorite, vanilla bean paste, and then about a teaspoon or a half an orange zest. This is just gonna kind of brighten it up a little bit, and then a pinch of salt as well. After everything's in there, go ahead, turn the mixer on and mix it well together. And the very last thing, you're gonna add about a tablespoon, you might need a little bit more, of milk. And the milk is what's gonna help you be able to pipe this cookie later, because this dough is really thick and the milk helps thin it out a little bit. But do not add too much milk, because then your cookies are gonna spread in the oven and it won't work. So just about a tablespoon, maybe a half tablespoon more if you need, but no more than that. After everything's in there, go ahead, give it its final mix until everything comes together really well. And now there's a couple different ways that you can bake these cookies. I like to pipe them out, and that's why we added the milk, to make sure that it thins the dough out to be able to be pipeable. So to do this, I just use a cake decorating icing bag. It needs to be a really thick kind. Don't use a Ziploc bag for this, it's not gonna work. It'll burst right away. And a Wilton 8B piping tip. You want something really large with a really large star opening that's gonna give it a really pretty texture, but also have enough space to come out. Anything smaller and you're gonna be struggling and it's pretty much not gonna work. So go ahead, and I just like to add about a third of the dough at a time. As soon as I get it into the piping bag, I like to massage it for about a minute or 2. The warmth from your hands is gonna help melt that butter just a little bit, and it's gonna make it easier to pipe. The more you work with it and your hands are around it, the easier it's gonna be to pipe out. The first little bit is gonna be a struggle, I'm not gonna lie, you might get a hand cramp. So just massage it a little bit so that the dough warms up. I like to pipe 2 different shapes for these cookies. The easiest way is just to hold the piping bag straight up and down and do just a little star dollop. That way you're not having to swirl it, and all you're doing is just squeezing and then releasing, and they come out in these cute little tiny bite-sized cookies. The other one is to do a larger swirl. The dough needs to be pretty warm for this, because it is gonna be a little bit thick and hard to squeeze. But after you've worked with it for a little bit, then it should be a little bit easier for you to do. To do this, you just start in the middle, squeeze, and then work your way into a little swirl and release after you're done. So that's just one way you can do it. The other way is if you have a little spritz cookie mold where it comes in a container, or it's a little like tube you put the dough in. You have different templates that you can put in the bottom, and you stick it on top of the cookie sheet and press, and it sets the cookie for you. If you have one, you know what I'm talking about. You can just Google or Amazon spritz cookie maker, butter cookie maker, and it'll come up. If you have one of those, this dough is perfect for that, so you can go ahead and use that. Another way you can do it is just like a regular chocolate chip cookie and scoop it out and bake it. And then the last and final way is a slice and bake. You're gonna take all the dough that you have and place it on top of some plastic wrap or parchment paper or wax paper, form it into a log shape, roll it up really tightly, close the ends, and store it in the refrigerator for about 1 or 2 hours till it's nice and chilled. When you're ready, you just take it out and slice it with a knife about a ½ inch thick, put it on the cookie sheet and bake as according to directions. So you have lots of options of what you would like to do. No matter which one you do, they're all gonna taste the same and delicious, and you're gonna love them. So after you've piped them out, or however you've chosen to decorate and pipe out your cookies, you're gonna place them in a 325-degree oven for about 14 to 15 minutes. After the cookies have baked, remove them from the oven and let them cool completely. Now at this point, they're ready to eat. But to step it up just a notch for the Christmas season, we're gonna take a couple of them and dip them in chocolate and white chocolate, decorate them with Christmas sprinkles. So all you need to do this, but add some water to a large pot, put it on the stove over medium-low heat to bring it to a simmer, and then you'll put a large glass bowl that fits over top of your pot, and add in your chocolate chips or your white chocolate chips, and you're gonna slowly melt this. You can start this right as you're putting the cookies in the oven to bake, so that it has the baking time and cooling time to fully melt. The rest is super simple. Just take the cookie, dunk in half of the cookie, put it back on the baking tray, and top with your choice of Christmas sprinkles. It doesn't matter. You get to be creative for this one. This would be a great thing to have the kids help in the kitchen. This will also make for a really great cookie exchange for the holiday season. It's pretty much up to you. You're gonna love them. They absolutely melt in your mouth. They're not overly sweet. The little bit of the orange zest and the vanilla bean paste just gives it this flavor that is just a classic butter cookie recipe that you will love time and time again. So go ahead and put this butter cookie on your Christmas cookie must-make list this year, but also keep it in the back of your mind for any festive holiday to decorate with cute little sprinkles, or just eat them by itself all year round. It doesn't matter. For the full recipe, head on over to fuelingasouthernsoul.com. Everything that you need to know is there. Thanks so much for joining me in my kitchen. Have a Merry, Merry Christmas, or happy whatever holiday you're celebrating, no matter what time of year it is. And I will talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.